Hi everyone, welcome back to the series. I'm Ethan, and this is the second episode where we're building a racing game based around cards using AI as a coding assistant. In my case, I'm using Codex, and before we get into it, quick reminder that if you want to follow along properly, I leave the project files on my Patreon. The link is always down in the description. In today's video, I'm going to be building a procedural system to generate racetracks. The goal is to be able to assign a material for the road, move a few points around, and have the whole track generate automatically. So in this one, I'll be narrating more or less what I've been working on over the last few days to build this custom system from scratch. First of all, like always, I like to start by creating a project folder to keep everything organized. And inside that, I make separate folders for scenes, scripts, and prefabs. Then I move the sample scene into my scenes folder. To get started, I create a first script. I called it racetrack generator. I just make the file and leave it empty at first. So Codex already has a clear place to begin and can better understand the structure of the project. And as always, I'm using anti-gravity as my code editor. Although in this video, you'll see that I barely go into the editor at all, because most of what Codex generated was actually pretty functional, and I was able to debug a lot of it without even needing to read much code. I'm also using the Clover extension, which is really useful for seeing which assets in the scene already have scripts assigned directly from the editor. Alright, now let's open Codex and prepare the first prompt. I told it to modify the script I had just created and turn it into a racetrack generator. I wanted a system where I could move points directly from the Unity inspector and have the road auto-generate from that. I also told it that we could use bezier calculations, so the track would already have smooth curves from the beginning. This is a relatively simple task, so I was feeling pretty confident about Codex here. As you can see, Codex immediately noticed that the new input system package was already installed, and remember in the previous episode we told Codex in the agents MD file to always use the new input system because that is the default one in Unity. Now you can also see that because I had plan mode enabled in Codex, it started asking me to make a few decisions, and if you don't know what plan mode is, you can activate it with Shift plus Tab while you're writing a prompt. What that does is make the agent stop before coding, gather information first, and then build an implementation plan for what you asked for. So I just started picking the decisions that made the most sense for the track system I needed. At one point, I didn't really understand what it meant by helper tools, so I simply asked it to explain that to me. It explained it and then asked for another answer. And as you can see, once it has gathered enough information, it starts writing the plan and asks you to confirm if you want it to implement it. And of course I said yes. And then it went straight into the implementation. After around 4 minutes of coding, it looked like the script was complete, so now it was time to review it. This time I forgot to configure the MCP before opening Codex, so I had to do the setup manually myself, but even so, just by adding the script, it already generated an oval. It was pink because I hadn't assigned any material yet, so I created a material and assigned it to the track. But as you can see, I still wasn't seeing the handles that I asked for to move the points around. After spending a while trying to figure out what was wrong, it turned out the issue was just that I had gizmos disabled in the Unity inspector. So I turned them back on and then I could finally see everything properly. At that point, I could test it better. I could select the points, but I still couldn't get the position gizmo to move the way I wanted, so I told Codex to fix that. While Codex was working on that, I started looking for a texture for the track, and I found a really nice website for free textures. I'll leave that in the description as well. Once I applied the texture, I noticed straight away that it wasn't being projected properly, but on the bright side. Now we could clearly see the handles and move the points around to shape the curve, however we wanted, which was great. So next I asked Codex to fix the UVs, so the texture would follow the same direction as the track, and boom, it solved it really quickly. It even added a parameter to adjust the UV size. Although for now, I'm not really using it. I was also testing all the buttons it had added, like adding points and checking that everything behaved properly, and I could see that the bezier handles were also working nicely. Here I was checking how the mesh was being generated by the script, because I noticed some areas where the texture looked stretched, and it seemed like it was probably related to the part where the end of the track connects back to the beginning. After a couple more tries, Codex solved that too. Now the end of the road was properly connected to the start and there were no more UV issues there. At that point, the road was still basically a perfectly flat plane, so I asked it to add some adjustable height from the inspector, and it applied that very easily without any problems. Then I asked for a few extra settings, like being able to choose whether the extrusion should go upward or downward, fixing the normals so it would render correctly, and also adding an option to assign a different material to the edge of the road and the top surface of the road. Then I realized that in general, the track still had too few subdivisions. You could really see the polygons in the curves, and what I wanted was more detail in the curves without wasting geometry in the straight sections where it wasn't needed. So I asked it to build an intelligent subdivision system that would automatically detect where more mesh density was needed to keep things smooth, and where less was needed to keep it efficient and straight. But as you can see, what it gave me at first wasn't really working. Honestly, it almost looked like it was doing the opposite of what I wanted. That was probably my fault because the prompt was pretty ambiguous and I let it decide too much about the method, so I just gave it another prompt and made the request much more specific. This time I asked for a system that would first subdivide the mesh in high detail and then remove unnecessary vertices depending on the angle. So straight sections would end up lighter, and curved sections would keep more geometry. And as you can see, just by being more direct with the prompt, it absolutely nailed it. Now the mesh is dense in the curves and lighter in the straights. Exactly what I wanted. Around this point, another quick reminder, if you want to download the project files and inspect everything yourself while watching the series, they're on my Patreon. Link is in the description. After that, I also asked it to improve the custom inspector we had created, because by then we had a lot more values and they weren't really grouped in a nice way, so it was getting a bit annoying to work with. I also asked it to add support for selecting multiple track points at once, and if 2 points are selected, then adding a new point should insert it between those 2 selected points. With that, we already had a pretty comfortable and procedural way to build car racing tracks, but it was still missing something, so I wanted to push it further. The next thing was a system for adding objects along the sides of the road. Side object, basically, I wanted something where I could assign either a mesh or a prefab and have it distributed along the track based on parameters like object count. So I opened a new Codex window for that because the previous chat was already getting pretty full with context and I preferred starting fresh. Before switching, I asked the previous agent to summarize the system and explain how to use it in a markdown file inside the folder, so the next agents would already have a clear summary from the start. Then I explained what I wanted for the side object system, 2 main modes, basically solid objects distributed along the sides of the track, like streetlights, and also objects that follow and deform with the shape of the track, like guardrails. Just like before, I used plan mode again, and it started asking me some design questions, and as you can see now, we already have a side objects list in its own category inside the script. I dropped in a streetlight model to test it, and it generated a lot of useful parameters for placement, including rotation and different positioning options. I also asked it to add options to place objects either with a fixed number around the whole track or every X meters. Then I asked for the option to either assign a prefab that gets placed all around the track or a raw model. And if it is a model, then it should merge it into a single mesh for better performance. With that, we already had a really solid side object system. For now, I placed a guardrail on the outer side and streetlights both inside and outside the track. At that point, I felt like the biggest thing still missing was the red and white strips you usually see on the sides of racing tracks in the curves. The parts drivers can slightly drive over. I think most people call them curbs. So just like before, I opened a new Codex chat, gave it a bit of context, and explained that I wanted the option to either auto-generate the curb mesh or use my own imported one. And after a few minutes working on it, we had this kind of curb or sidewalk shape. At first, it was using the same material as the road, so it didn't stand out much. But once I made a proper texture for it in Photoshop, then it became much clearer what I was aiming for. I did notice a few generation issues, but they seemed to be more related to the bezier behavior than to the curb system itself. The next improvement I asked Codex for was to support modifiers or rules for both the side objects and the curbs. And honestly, I'm writing this part of the script afterwards, and I can tell you this was a terrible decision. You have no idea how many headaches this gave me trying to get Codex to build it properly. What I wanted was basically the ability to define rules. So objects or curbs would only appear on straights or only on curves, which sounds simple, but apparently was not that simple in practice. On the first attempt, it clearly didn't work. In fact, the curbs were disappearing on random sections of curves for no good reason. And after a lot of debugging and a lot of retries, finally, there it was, a system that places the curbs only on the curved parts of the track. It still wasn't perfect and it could conflict a bit depending on the exact curve shape, but it was working pretty well. I literally gave up at one point, and as you can see, I ended up recording again the next day, and that was when I finally managed to solve it. The next step to polish the system further was fixing this small bug you can see on screen. The curb UVs were getting stretched or compressed depending on whether they were on the inside or outside of a curve, and I wanted them to always stay uniform. So I asked Codex to solve that. I also asked it to improve the curved side objects like the guardrails, because they were also stretching and compressing, and while I was at it, I asked it to improve the road texture mapping too, because the lane markings were stretching and compressing as well. And as you can see on the first try, it actually fixed the curbs and the guardrails, but it introduced a weird artifact in the road texture. I tried a few different methods for projecting the texture onto the road, but in the end, honestly, I left it the way it was at the beginning and just removed the lane markings in Photoshop so the stretching effect wouldn't be noticeable. And overall, I think it was looking pretty good by that point. The curbs were no longer stretched or too thin, the road texture was no longer distracting, and the guardrails were no longer deformed. To finish polishing things, I also noticed that the ends of the curbs were open, or had reversed normals, which made the inside visible. So that was a pretty quick fix in the end. After so much development and fighting with Codex, I spent a bit of time just tweaking some visual parts of the scene to relax for a while. And finally, the last thing I asked for was the ability to have the bezier handles either synchronized or disconnected with a toggle, and that was it. So now we have our full system for creating roads in our game, and I spent a bit of time adjusting the track so you can properly see everything working together in action. There's still room for improvement in a few areas, but overall it is already looking really nice. And remember, as always, I'll leave the Patreon link in the description so you can download the project files and follow the whole process yourself. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.